guys, Slay Travel here. But before I get into what this video is about, I just want to say thank you to my community for pushing me to want to make more content and have more fun and enjoy making this content, because I actually have lots of fun making this content, and I just want to hope that my viewers have a nice time watching my videos, and just my community being here makes me enjoy being on YouTube a whole lot more than I would without this community. And it just makes me want to push to make better videos and to be just a better YouTuber overall. But today's video is about a comparison, and we're going to compare Pandora's box to the Nutcracker. And if you look in the shop, you can actually buy the Pandora's box tower for 2,500 coins, pretty pricey. And as you can see, she's like the second best tower in the shop right now, I'm pretty sure. But you cannot actually get the Nutcracker anymore, as it was a Christmas event. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the Easter World mini event. Not only to grind eggs, that's not why I'm doing it here, but I'm also going to do this twice. I'm going to do the very first map on hard mode, and I'm going to use only Pandora's boxes and only Nutcrackers and see which one gets me further. Now, I might lose, and I'm saying that I might lose not because they're bad towers by any means, but because the specific enemies that are on the Easter event are very fast, and for only having 2 attack speed, yes, it can hit a lot, but both towers can hit a lot, but for their first starting upgrades, they don't do a lot of damage, so leaking too much could possibly lose. But we're going to try to avoid losing here, but we can only use these towers. So for this one, I'm going to use only the Pandora's box, and then I'm going to play again and use only the Nutcracker. So starting off, I'm going to get, in my opinion, the optimal placement, which would be right here, because you can hit more of the map than any other spot. And Pandora's first upgrade does 50 damage with 80 range and 2 attack speed. Going into the next upgrade, the damage actually doubles to 100, and the range upgrades by 10 to 90, and sticking with 2 attack speed. So that's what we're going to be going for after we place down another one. And I want to place down all 3 of them before I upgrade any of them, because if you look at this, the damage doubles and the range goes up by 5, and that's a $14,000 upgrade. But if I just place another one down, it's only 7,500, and the damage still doubles. In fact, the range also doubles, and it's the same attack speed. So it's just like if you could place down more of these guys, or these girls, sorry, because it's Pandora's box. But if you could place down more of this tower, then that would be the better way to go, because you just get more out of it, you know. Although this tower does have a 3 placement limit, so you can only place 3 of them down. Yeah, it's the same with the Nutcracker, and it's the same with a lot of towers actually. It's the same with the Galactic God, and all 3 of them, my 3, 4, and 5 slots all have a 3 max placement. Which Pandora's box and the Nutcracker aren't gods, which is showing that they must be pretty good if they have the same placement as the Galactic God, which is a god. Anyways, we're going to be about ready soon to upgrade Pandora's box, and we're going to upgrade the one at the front. I know that I said this one was the optimal placement, and it is, but if I upgrade the one at the front, then, actually, no, we're going to upgrade this one so that we don't leak. I'm not going to use my gun for either of these, so that it's just the tower and not my gun. Of course, I would use my gun if I couldn't place these towers immediately, but for both of these towers, they cost 7,500, which isn't a lot, and I can just place it at the start because this is hard mode. Anyways, what I was saying before this is that if I upgrade this guy at the front, then it'll actually do more damage quicker, allowing these guys to get more, to like finish all of the enemies off. That's just how I look at it. You can look at it in whichever way you think would be better for your tower, or your like the upgrade that you're about to get, or how much the upgrade costs. Because if you're going to get an upgrade that you're not going to be able to get for another while, you have to think a little, not a lot more, but just a little bit more about who you're upgrading it on. If you're not going to be able to get that good upgrade for a while. Something that I don't like about what they did is they messed up the targeting. Like, it used to just attack in the front, which I actually didn't mind, because attacking in the front, it didn't let anything leak, right? But now the Pandora's box tower, it just ignores this guy, and then this guy gets through and leaks, and that happens so much that, like, that entire tower, I mean, that entire enemy is gonna leak now, because they didn't focus on it, and it's not. And since you don't get a lot of HP, like 100 standard HP, I guess, but like you don't have 200, obviously your pet can boost it. I don't have the best pets, I just have this spinner arrow that I use to, I guess, get a little bit more HP. But anyways, the Pandora's box, and this isn't just for Pandora's box, I believe this is the same as well for the Nutcracker. But I don't like that they've messed up the targeting for meme towers, because it used to, as I said, just be whatever it sees first, it attacks. But that's not the case anymore, and it actually ends up letting things leak through. Which in my opinion, like, kind of hurts the tower in general. Because Pandora's box last upgrade just shreds through everything, but if it's going to be ignoring things and letting them pass by, then that's the only reason that I can imagine that it would leak through. Oh, also, anyways, I haven't even been talking about the actual tower. So the tier 3 upgrade, which costs 22,000, goes from 100 damage, right, to 350 damage, 100 range, and to attack speed. And that's a really good upgrade, because going from 100 damage to 350 damage, or because it's to attack speed, going from 200 damage a second to 700 damage a second, is a major upgrade, along with the 10 range upgrade. That's also a big plus. Now, because of the range upgrades, the optimal placing kind of doesn't mean too much anymore, because she can almost hit, like, she can hit over half the map. But the next upgrade goes from 350 damage, or 700 damage a second, to 1,100 damage with 2 attack speed, which means 2,200 damage a second. And it also upgraded the range to 110. Now, something that's very fascinating about both Pandora and the Nutcracker is that all of their upgrades are pretty, like, they climb up pretty evenly, right? Like, 350 to 1,100 that's a pretty big difference. But then from 1,100 and a 2 attack speed to 6,500 and 2 attack speed, that's 13,000 damage a second. Obviously the cost goes up quite a bit. But it's still definitely worth it in the end, because most maps you get lots of money, depending on the map, of course. I think I'm actually gonna start focusing on this Pandora, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get any of the max if I upgrade all of them to the tier 4. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. But Pandora's box, I didn't think I focused much on how easy they are to get. Because that's another giant factor of this, and that is that there is no new player that can get the Nutcracker. If you weren't playing since last Christmas, then you just can't get the Nutcracker. Now, obviously, there's a possibility that they'll bring it back in this year's Christmas update, but that's not 100% guarantee. So if you don't have it, then you might not ever be able to get it. They might bring it back, so you might be able to get it. But I got it from last Christmas. And it's a really good tower, and it might not be one of the best towers anymore. Don't get me wrong, it's still not, well, I'd say it's top 10. Definitely top 10 tower. But at the time that it was released, I think I said this in another video too. At the time when it was released, it was like top 3 in the game. It might have been the second best, because the number 1 was Cactus Jack. Because this was before Shadow Claw, before Pandora, before any of the really good gods, obviously before the Galactic Emperor. Are you gonna hit this guy? Are you gonna, okay, we're gonna, you gotta hit this guy. You gotta, wait, damage, ooh. Yeah, so that's the problem with the targeting on beam towers, is they just do that, and then you just kind of don't win because they just let stuff through. And I think this might actually happen more with Pandora because it definitely happens to the Nutcracker now. But I think it might happen more with Pandora, not as like on purpose. I think that most people like wanted it to, like the developers of the game to change the targeting to strong. Like the strongest ones is what they hit first, but still, I mean, in my opinion, again, I said this in another video, I'm pretty sure, but you should be able to switch the targeting and what it hits first. Because if it's just letting all these guys by, that's how much? That's 30 elite damage. So if I just leak 2 of those guys, or if I leak 2 of these guys, you just lose. Also, I think it would be a really interesting idea if the developers did make a tower that could give you HP back, that could like gain HP. So I'm pretty sure they haven't. Then again, I have been playing this game since like release date. I started playing it right before last Christmas, so I'm relatively new actually. But I do really enjoy making content on this game, and that's why I started and making my entire channel on this game so far. I am actually going to play Bed Wars, and if you're hearing that and you're like, oh wait, he's gonna be just a Bed Wars YouTuber. Well, that's not okay. As you can see, we lost because of the targeting. But I'm not gonna be a Bed Wars YouTuber. I just like to listen to my community, and if somebody asked me to play a game, I would love to play a game for their entertainment. And I got asked to play Bed Wars, and I'm fine with playing Bed Wars. It's a fun game. Well, in my opinion, every game on Roblox is a really fun game. Oh, I quit the lobby on accident. Whoopsies. Anyway, I think that every game on Roblox is a really fun game. And Bed Wars isn't an exception, in my opinion. I find Bed Wars pretty fun. So the newer updates make it questionable, in my opinion, but it's fine because today's video isn't on Bed Wars. Today's video is a comparison video, which I also was requested to do by a viewer. And it's really nice that my community is giving me feedback because I love to know what I could make better for these videos. If you have an idea, just type in the comments what you think I could do better in my videos, and I will try to improve that to the best of my abilities. But the Nutcracker and Pandora are actually pretty similar. They put down the same. I think their first 2 upgrades are the same too. The same, like, I think the range might be a little bit different, but I think they do the same damage at levels 1 and 2. But I think level 3 Pandora is slightly better. I'm not sure though. But yeah, as you just saw, the targeting, I wouldn't have lost that if the Pandora's targeting was better. Because the only reason I lost that was because of the targeting. But anyways, I think there might be the same problem with the Nutcracker. I think there just might be the same problem with all projectile towers and beam towers. But I'm not sure about that. You know, I'm not 100% sure. Again, I could be wrong, but I think that the targeting is messed up slightly. Like, obviously, he's just hitting the ones in the front because they all have the same amount of HP. And I think the Pandora actually got rid of those guys a little bit quicker. Which is weird. It's weird considering. Oh, I didn't give it completely optimal placement. That's why. That's probably why. That's a little bit weird considering they do the exact same damage, you know. And like I said, for the Pandora, placing down 2 of them is just better than getting the first upgrade because that costs more and does the same. Well, it doesn't actually double the. It doubles the damage, right? Yeah, it doubles the damage, but it doesn't double the range. Putting this guy down doubles the damage and doubles the range, right? So that's just why I like to put down all of my towers before, like, the max placement of towers before I upgrade them. And the Nutcrackers, like I said earlier, also has a max placement of 3, like Pandora. Again, this is actually really cool, because if you place them both down, Pandora's cost the same, 7,500, and she also does 50 damage and 2 attack speed. I think she has Yeah, she has 80 range. I just did the thing. I just used her. Of course, I should know what she has, but you know, sometimes I just forget. Anyway, she has 80 range, making her better, I guess, by 5 range. But now that I have all these guys placed down, oh yeah, his first upgrade also costs $1,000 less. Which explains, I guess, the little bit of range change. But 85 range now, 100 damage, and 2 attack speed, which is pretty good. This is as good as Pandora, except of course Pandora is 90. But close enough. I don't think that it matters too much unless you're like putting them down in like a rush because you're about to lose, you know, and you need that little extra range so that they can hit another one time. But unless you're in like that exact position, I don't think that the 5 range matters too much. Now, if it was like 15 or 20 or maybe even 10 range, then I could understand. But I just don't feel like it's a big enough of a difference to say that one is better or worse. Now, obviously, he costs 1,000 less, which in my opinion makes him a little bit better because, as I just said, I don't think that the 5 damage is a super big deal. I already upgraded you. We're gonna upgrade you. I'm gonna get them all to level 3, and then I think I'm just gonna focus on one because I think I can get them all to level 4, and then get one of them max right before the boss comes. I'm pretty sure at least. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't think I've actually used this setup on this map. But the Nutcracker's third upgrade, or second upgrade technically, but it makes it tier 3. His tier 3 upgrade is, again, $1,000, well, 1,000 points, is that what it called? Is that what the game calls it? Yeah. I think 1,000 in-game points is what they call it. I'm just going to call it 1,000 points. It's 1,000 points less. Like Pandora's third upgrade is 22,000. But this is where we see the first changes, because Pandora's upgrade did 350 damage into attack speed with 100 range, and he also has 100 range into attack speed, but he does a little bit less damage. He does 260 damage. Still a really good tower, obviously, up to now. Well, not up to now, but this is still a really good tower. Even being made like last Christmas, it's still top 10. Well, maybe not top 10, but like around there, you know. I'd say like definitely top 15, possibly top 10. There's lots of gods in the game now. But anyways, he's definitely one of the best towers that I have. Obviously with this new event and stuff, me playing the game more. Now I have these 3, which I'm in my opinion, I think these 2 are both better than these 2. Well, maybe it's debatable if Pandora is better than Alien Beast. Sort of, because Alien Beast, like I said, Pandora is a beam tower and they mess up the targeting, so I prefer track towers right now. But I think that I'd take Pandora over, what's his name? The Galactic God. Which means that I would also maybe take the Nutcracker. I think, in my opinion, the Nutcracker and the Galactic God are about the same. Now, for the Nutcracker's 4th tier upgrade, it's 5,000 less than Pandora's. And Pandora went to 1,100 damage with 2 attack speed and 110 range. He also has 2 attack speed and 110 range, but he only does 900 damage, which is a 200 damage difference, but with a 2 attack speed, it's a 400 DPS difference. Not the biggest difference in the world, but definitely a big enough difference to possibly lose the game by. Also, this is a great time to point out that if you look at this, I don't think any of this targeting has been bad. So I don't know if it's just Pandora or if it's only certain towers. But his targeting is definitely a lot better than Pandora's is. Of course, that's debatable, as some people may like the strong targeting, and it goes well with other towers, but for just doing this, in the comparison with only using their towers, the targeting auto setting to attacking the strongest isn't the best, because then all of them are attacking the strongest and just letting the weaker ones leak. I think that, oh yeah, we could actually check out his 5th upgrade from here. Well, 4th upgrade, tier 5. Anyways, so Pandora's went from 1,100 to 6,500 damage into attack speed. That's crazy. 13,000 damage a second. That's a crazy upgrade. But his goes from 900 to 2,250, and that's not a bad upgrade. 4,500 DPS. That's still pretty good. Now, nowhere near as good as Pandora. But it is $100,000 less. So, like, on this map, that's gonna make a world of difference, because we barely, right before we died, we barely got Pandora's last upgrade, which if we had it a little bit earlier, it would have been able to save us, probably, maybe at least. But we can get this a lot earlier, because 300,000, 400,000 is a giant difference. Both of these towers are definitely very good towers. Obviously, Pandora's damage is a lot more. But if you're starting out the game, well, you won't have this if you're starting out the game, but I'm saying if they bring it back, and you're starting out the game and you're watching this in like 4 months or more, like when it's around Christmas time and you're starting the game, if that's when you're watching this, and the Nutcracker's back, which I don't know if the Nutcracker's going to be back, but if the Nutcracker's back and you're just starting out, it's a really good tower to get, because certain maps that beginners start on don't give you like enough money to get to the $400,000 upgrade as quick. And $400,000 is a lot for starter maps. Granted, 300,000 is too, but it's obviously not as much. Which can really just be the difference between winning and losing on beginner maps as a starter to this game. Just the cost alone. Like, sometimes damage isn't the issue, it's whether you can get the upgrade in time. Now, obviously, damage is going to play a part in, like, how well your towers do, because that's the entire point of having a tower, is that it does damage, has a certain attack speed, a range. I also like that there's the damage dealt. Now, of course, this has always been here. The damage dealt's always been here. But it's just cool to see like what tower's doing the most. It's kind of, I guess it's fine that it resets every time you upgrade it, but it would be cooler, in my opinion, if like the damage just kept going. But then again, like obviously it's not that big of a difference. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to change anything about the game. These guys have 12,500, which isn't actually that bad. Also, I think, in my opinion, this tower looks way cooler than the Pandora's box tower. Now, of course, you can have your own opinion on everything that I say in these videos. That's why you're watching it on YouTube and you're not having like an in-person conversation, because that'd be weird, obviously. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that I prefer the look of this tower over Pandora's box. And I think that this tower is... Oh, did we lose here? No, we don't lose because we didn't leak. See, Pandora's box, if we would have leaked that, we would have lost because of the targeting and stuff. I think we're actually still going to lose. Unless we sell this guy. Okay, we're going to sort of cheating a little bit, but it's fine, I think we might win now. Possible. Oh, yeah. It's going to be close. Wait. Oh, yeah, it was very close, but we were able to win. Now, obviously, I sold and replaced, but my point is that the Pandora's box tower wasn't actually able to even get that far, because I think the targeting might just be on certain towers, because that showed that the targeting was completely normal. Overall, both towers are really good. If you're a beginner, the Nutcracker is just objectively better. Not because of the damage or anything, but because of cost efficiency and not getting that much money in starter games. Now, Pandora's box obviously does a lot more damage and is a lot more practical to get, as you can just buy it in the shop. And the Nutcracker you literally cannot get unless it's a Christmas event. And that's not it. Like, I'm not sure that they're gonna bring it back. I'm not sure that they're not gonna bring it back. I'm not I can't tell you for sure that they're gonna bring it back, and I can't tell you for sure that they're not. But if they do, then I would highly recommend getting that tower, as it is definitely top 15 in my opinion. At least I think it's top 15. Maybe because of all the gods now, it's like top 20. I think it's top 15, maybe even top 10. Definitely top 5 out of the towers that I have. But then again, I don't have all those new crazy god towers and all that. But really, if you're thinking about it and you're having lots of fun, that's what really matters. Because at the end of the day, it's not the deepest thing in the world, and it's Roblox. And Roblox is all about having fun. So if you have any fun while playing Roblox games, then that's good enough. Okay, you don't have to be the best at Roblox games, but as long as you enjoy them, that's what. Along with every other game, you don't have to be the best at sports, but as long as you enjoy it, that's what truly matters. So this was my comparison on Pandora versus the Nutcracker, of which is better. And if you came here just for a straight answer and you watched to the end to just get and you skip to the end for a straight answer of, okay, which is better? Is Pandora better or is Nutcracker better? Well, then you're not gonna like this answer, because my answer is just they're different. Now, in simple, if you want an answer of what is better if you're level 25 or above, Pandora. If you want something for level 20 or below, Nutcracker. So you even out to what your level is. And of course, if you have these towers, you can fit it to your preference, and you can be the decider of which tower is better, and then use whichever one if you don't use both. Because I use both, but you don't have to use both. In fact, you don't have to use either. But if you don't get this Nutcracker tower this year, if it even comes back out, then you can either wait till next year, or I don't know, you might just not get it, because it might have been a one-time thing. But either way, really cool tower for both of these, both really cool towers, great additions to the game, and I just really think that both of these towers, obviously they're not the best towers in the game by any means, but both of these towers are really good for having fun in the game and enjoying the way that you play it.